Welcome back to ABCGH Spoilers and News. If you felt like Port Charles has been holding its breath all week, Thursday's episode is where the exhale turns into a storm. Because the headline isn't just Britt is backed into a corner. The real question is, who built the corner, and why now? And then there's Jason. When Jason gets suspicious, it's rarely about gossip, it's usually about survival. Meanwhile, Emma reaching out to Nathan is the kind of move that tells me fear has crossed a line. People don't ask for help like that unless the ground feels unstable. We've also got Brooklyn and Chase talking future, always a sweet moment on paper, but on GH, future talk often comes right before a test. And Lucas and Marco being surprised. That sounds like information hitting them at the worst possible time, not a cute little twist. So let's break this down like we're mapping a crime board: motive, pressure points, and the one truth GH loves most: every secret leaks eventually. First, Britt. When a character gets backed into a corner, it usually means two things: someone has leverage, and Britt doesn't have enough room to negotiate. Britt has never been just a victim or just a villain, she's always been complicated, and that's why pressure on her feels dangerous. Because Britt under pressure doesn't simply panic. She calculates. She protects herself. And sometimes, she chooses the option that hurts someone else first. So what kind of corner are we talking about? Emotional, legal, or life and death? My gut says it's not just feelings. This week's atmosphere in Port Charles has been tense and divided, which is exactly when threats work best, because nobody trusts anyone enough to unite. That's why I'm watching the timing. Britt gets cornered right as Jason's suspicion spikes. Those two beats feel connected, not random. Here's one possibility: Britt knows something that someone powerful once kept quiet, and the corner is a reminder that silence has a price. Another possibility: Britt is being forced to choose between protecting someone she cares about and protecting herself. And on GH, that usually means a third party is pulling strings, someone who likes control more than truth. Now let's talk Jason. The show doesn't label him suspicious unless he's about to start noticing details everyone else ignores. Jason's suspicion tends to be quiet at first. A glance that lasts too long. A question asked twice. A pause that feels like a warning. So who could Jason be suspicious of right now? Britt is the obvious surface answer, but I don't think it's that simple. Because when Jason cares, he doesn't just suspect, he investigates. And if he's suspicious, he's already sensing a pattern. My read is that Jason is picking up on inconsistencies, stories that don't match timelines, reactions that don't match feelings. And remember, suspicion on GH often spreads. It starts with one person, then it rewires alliances across the whole town. So even if Jason's first target is Britt, the second target could be whoever is pressuring her. Which brings us back to that corner. If Britt is being squeezed, Jason's suspicion could become her only lifeline, or her biggest threat. Because Jason doesn't play comfort. He plays truth. And truth can be brutal when someone is scared. That's why Thursday feels like a Hinge episode. Britt may have to decide whether to confess, deflect, or disappear. Now the Emma and Nathan piece. This one screams legacy, family, and fear. Emma is not the type to ask lightly. If she turns to Nathan, it suggests she believes he can actually do something: protect, investigate, or intervene. And Nathan isn't just a shoulder to cry on. He represents law enforcement instincts and personal loyalty in one package. So what is Emma trying to solve? Is she trying to find someone? Is she trying to stop someone? Or is she trying to confirm a fear she can't say out loud? If you ask me, Emma's storyline feels like the emotional mirror of Jason's storyline. Both are about sensing danger before it's visible. Emma feels it in her gut. Jason sees it in the details. And Nathan is the bridge between those two worlds. So I'm predicting Emma's request sets off a chain reaction, something Nathan hears or notices that he can't unknow afterward. Which then puts Nathan in a classic GH trap: help the person you care about, or obey the rules that keep you safe. And if Nathan chooses help, that can place a target on his back, because threats don't like witnesses. Now, Brooklyn and Chase. Let's pause here, because this is the emotional human storyline in an episode that otherwise feels like pressure and suspicion. Whenever Brooklyn and Chase discuss their future, it's not just romance. It's stability. It's them trying to build something that Port Charles keeps trying to tear down. And the question is, what future are they actually discussing? Marriage timeline? Kids? Career? A new plan to protect their peace? Because future in this town is always negotiated under stress. It's never a calm conversation, it's a promise made in the middle of chaos. Here's what I think: their talk isn't filler. It's a signal. One of them is about to face a moment that tests the promise they make. So expect a line, a decision, or an agreement that becomes important later, maybe as simple as "we handle things together," which GH loves to challenge. And I'm also watching who overhears them, who interrupts them, or what news hits right after that conversation ends. Because GH is famous for letting characters speak hope. Right before the show drops weight on that hope. Now to Lucas and Marco being surprised. That phrase sounds small, but it can carry a huge plot payload. Surprised can mean a confession, a betrayal, a sudden arrival, or information that changes what they thought was true. Lucas has been tied to heavy news recently, and Marco's presence adds a relationship layer that can turn one secret into two. So here's my prediction: the surprise is not a cute misunderstanding. It's a revelation that forces Lucas and Marco to reassess trust. It might be about a threat creeping closer. Or about someone using their relationship as a pressure point. And if Britt is cornered in the same episode, it's very possible these storylines brush against each other, directly or indirectly. Because GH loves parallel tension: one character gets squeezed, another character realizes they're not safe either. So, how do I think Thursday ends emotionally? With Britt feeling trapped, Jason feeling certain, Emma feeling urgent, and at least one couple realizing the future isn't guaranteed. Now let me give you the if this then that predictions, the kind you can circle back to after the episode airs. Prediction 1, Britt's corner involves a demand: do something, give something up, or keep quiet, or the consequences get ugly. Prediction 2, Jason's suspicion points him toward a person, but the real culprit is the one hiding behind that person. Prediction 3, Emma and Nathan's conversation unlocks a clue, and Nathan won't be able to pretend he didn't hear it. Prediction 4, Brooklyn and Chase make a plan that feels solid, until a new variable enters the room. Prediction 5, Lucas and Marco's surprise forces them to decide quickly: protect each other, or protect the truth. And if you want the biggest wild card, it's the overlap, when one storyline accidentally exposes another. That's why I'm watching for a single moment: Britt's reaction to a name, a place, or a detail Jason mentions. Because if Britt flinches at the wrong word, Jason won't miss it. And if Emma shares a fear that matches Jason's suspicion, that's when Port Charles starts to connect dots. So Thursday isn't just a spoiler list. It's a pressure episode. A squeeze that reveals who breaks, who bends, and who bites back. If you've been waiting for movement, real movement, this is the kind of episode where the chessboard changes shape. Drop your predictions in the comments. Who do you think is cornering Britt, and what is Jason about to uncover? And if you want more GH spoilers with analysis and clean storytelling like this, hit subscribe to ABC GH Spoilers and News, because Port Charles never stays quiet for long.